teaching nehiyawewin, so I do teaching at the University of Alberta. Also, I do on-the-land teaching with Nehiyawe language experience and blossoming flower, which is happening right now. There's children out there at Kichiaski. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kichiaski. It's based by Fox Drive. So, and the children are there right now. There's a teepee set up, and they're basically outside all day long. And I want to introduce also one of my students, Lauren Carter Sigasu. I'll let her introduce herself. Guess go.
Tansei Kakiao, Lauren Carter, Nitsikasun, Miskuchi Waskaginik Otsania, Nimiwaitin Kada Hewayan, XA.
Hi, Lauren. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do teaching Cree at the university and also on the land. And then I'm going to have some games, Cree games, so you'll have to nita nehiyawewin. The words are written on there, so it shouldn't be too hard. So some of the courses that we have at the U of A are NS 152, which is a 6-credit course. It's 2 terms. NS 252, which is the intermediate course. EGWA 352 is the advanced course, which is the one Lauren is in. And NS 103, which is the Cree immersion 1 through SILR, Canadian Indigenous Language and Literacy Development Institute, which runs in July and August. And then we have NS 404, which is an independent study. I give the students different texts, and then they have to decipher like syllabics from different regions, different dialects, and they have to be able to figure it all out. Egwa, of course, talk to me in Cree pugo kanehiyawewin. Mixed tufting and beating, so that's something that I like to do. Late Florida Thunder the work that I did Migukinyo. Rose Hip is the title of my beading project, which reminds me of my late mom. Beading nurtures me, it takes care of me. I feel good as I continue my journey on Minstick, Turtle Island. The tufting project is very new to me. It helps me to develop the values of patience and creativity, not knowing what the end piece is going to become. But I keep at it. Both projects helped me. The tufting project was very challenging because if you miss something, let go of one string, then the whole thing will fall apart. So you really have to have a lot of patience also when you're using your scissors to shape the flowers or whatever you're making. Then you have to have a lot of patience to work on that. That took me quite a while to do. So some of the places that I've helped at are the Young Indigenous Women Circle of Leadership with the Faculty of Education. So for that one, we did some like in-class instruction, on the land instruction, online as well. We had about, I think, 6 girls that came with the online one. That one was kind of hard. It was during COVID that we had to do the online one. NLE, Nehiyawewin language experience with Belinda and Andrea. That one's on the land, and Belinda just finished a presentation in regards to that. I found that very nurturing for me to be out on the land, to be able to nehiyawewin with the other ones, and having, trying to teach like really trying to ask them, how can I say this? And when I first started, like I did tried to do straight Cree, but some of them got a little frustrated. They're like, oh, Liz, can you just translate that? Or Gagiwitsahen, can you help me with this? So I had to like tone it down a little bit because they were not catching on. Of course, it was at the very beginning. Now today, I'm more at the intermediate level, so I can talk to them like I can with Lauren. Tansato e Lauren.
Namoyananta Egwakia.
Big one. Gigimitsun tenut.
Eha Nataten.
Gigwaima gigimitsin.
Moinikiskisin. Kayas. Nagi muau. Pagwazigan. Egwa Negi Miniguan Piga Tewapoi Tapoi. XA.
Hi, Lauren. I'm on. When I'm teaching them, and I have another student, Nete, Ayapu Jolene Rain Sigasu. It's very different because some of it has to be written because we're in university, so they have to learn to read and write, and they also have to learn how to speak Cree. So once in a while, I'll pull them away from the whole class, and I'll dialogue with them and ask them something. And every day it's different, so you can't be prepared. You have to just come and routine. The other one was Victoria High School, and that's a Cree 10. For Victoria Cree, I teach them twice a week, and it's online. So I Zoom in. I use Jamboard. Who's all familiar with Jamboard? It's a very good tool to use. So we have vocabulary that they want to learn. I will ask them, and they'll list some of the verbs like I meet tuta, nepa meet so pemote. So the very basic verbs that we need to hear probably tatugisikaw. Well, I introduced to them only the 1S, 2S, 3S, like do the conjugation patterns for them. And conjunct, my indicative mode. Well, they have to put these into the verbs and throw them in there and read the sentences. And then at the end, I'll ask them something like, niwapa mau iskwesi seami tat masnaigan. Iwap mau iskwesi seami tat masnaigan Marquistanwa. Yeah, the first one. Niwapa mau na peo enipat ni peonik. Levi? Niwapa mau na peo enipat ni peonik. Yeah, the second one. So with practice, they'll be able to do that. Kiwap mau zina peo e pemotet. Tama? Yeah, a man is walking. So that's basically what I do with them. And also I show them how to do syllabics. So they have to do both SRO and syllabics. Well, you can move these around, and then they got to put them where they're supposed to go. Well, they like challenging each other, so that's a good thing. So they'll say, okay, boys against the girls, right? So they'll team up, and then they'll try to do as fast as they can where these are supposed to go. Because they have access to, like you have a shared thing here, and they can be on there. So they go in there, and they put them where they're supposed to go. So they have a lot of fun with that. Again, some more. Kiwayuma. Again, same thing. I'll do the same thing, and I'll take everything off of there, and then they'll have to find out where it's supposed to go. Maga, they have to also learn how to talk, right? So every day in Tatamskwawak, they'll come up to the camera and they'll say, Tansato ya, Tanteutik ya, Gigwai gitu tena notes. So they understand those because I say that every day, right? So Tanteutik ya. Right, so they have to respond back. And the other one, Jasper Place School, I'm also teaching online Tuesdays and Thursdays, Minegunik. They've gotten this far already, right? I'll give them verbs, they got to conjugate them, and give me the English translation on the side. And then I test them by saying, Tansakaitwan, I work. Tansakaitwan, I read. I read a book, right? So they have to be able to say those, and they like challenging each other as well. So it's a lot of fun. And numbers, how to count. They know how to say, how do you say 35 in Cree? So I show them how to do 20, like Nista no Piaksap, how you have to do the 21st, and then Piaksap is the 11. So I practice this with them, and then they have to be able to do it. So when I worked with numbers, they were able to do it Kuyask. And just asking them questions like Tansay Sigaswin, Egwa Tante Utsigya.
Miskwachi Wiskaigan Nikotsania.
Awin Giginigigwak.
Ayapewak? No, Ayapayetik. Ayapayetik.
That was a hard one. Trying to remember Ayapayetik. I really enjoyed teaching Cree. So I covered both of those, Victoria, Egwa, Jasper Place High School. Enoch, Mina, Child and Family Services, so children who were removed from their home. Egwa, reintroducing them back to Cree. It was a very emotional thing to go through with them. They said they felt like something was always missing after they started learning a little bit of Cree. Like we're very grateful to be able to have this, to be able to hear the language. Like, because they were taken when they're asked. Some of them were taken like as babies. They want to be able to relearn, to learn the language and the ceremonies as well. So I had a chance to meet them at one of Enoch's giveaways. It was a very emotional though to be able to see them try to learn the language nehiyawewin, and they really tried hard. So I was really happy to see them. They were really excited. The next one, blossoming flower land-based education. Some of the methodologies, direct methods teaching entirely in Cree. Grammar translation is what we do at our class. Same with TPR, communicative language, task-based learning, and natural approach. It's kind of a harder one, the natural approach. This is what the students are expected to do, like knowing every piece of the words, knowing all the grammar. So we've taken some of the stories from Stories of the House People, Umapiak, and the other one is sentences that were made up from some of the students. And we kept them over the years and then put them into a book. So the first one is Nima mitson mistahenu tegateane, like the reduplication with the ma and mitso, your verb. So they have to identify everything. That's part of what they're being graded on, is to know what part of speech it is. And it is difficult. You really have to know, really understand it. You know, once you get used to it, you're doing it every day, because they're able to do it. And for them now, going into the second level, they're having a brain massage. You know, they're coming there to learn, they're thinking. It becomes like, they said it's like science. You're putting things together and coming up with the answer. So they really enjoy doing that. So I'm really happy about them putting all the effort into learning this. Because when me growing up, because being a fluent speaker, I didn't know about the grammar, like the writing, the different pieces of writing nehiyawewin. I failed my first quiz, and that was with late Donna Paskiman. And I thought, what the heck? You know, I was like, holy. And I thought, geez. I had an attitude. I just said, I don't like this Cree class. I can speak Cree. Like, I'm fluent. Like, who needs this? Who needs to write this anyways? I said, I was saying, I had a real bad attitude. And I sat with her and she said, Game mo, just come to my office after classes. So I'd go there and she'd show me what to write, what the different paradigms are, over and over, gagi tom, until I got it. What's a AI? What's a TI? What's a TA? And I was like drilling me at Tugisigaw. And until I was able to do it. She asked me, and I thought, sure. I don't even have grad studies yet. How to do this, you know how to do it. So I thought, I'll think about it. I said, and I left. Then the director called me, and Frank Tuff, do you want to come try at least one class, one whole term? I said, oh, okay, I guess I can. So here I am, the first day of class in Pitiguan, into the classroom, and I went in, and I was looking around. There's like 30-something students, and then gagging up it. Oh, are you looking for the Cree class? I'm like, yep, I am. And said, well, have a seat. We're waiting for the instructor. I was like, sure. I thought, holy. Then on my first day of teaching, the first week, I thought, how am I going to get all of them to learn Cree? Like, seriously. Right, and I thought about all the different ways that Donna taught me, late Donna. All the different experiences where all the different emotions were hitting me. Like, oh my goodness, how am I going to, do this? 32 students, I wagi again every day. After I got hired there, I was there for maybe 3 years. And she said, they asked me to do a higher Cree course, so I did. She said, okay, well, I'm leaving to Regina. She said she went over there with them, with Eric and them. So she left me there, and I said, what? You can't just leave me here. No, she said, you know what to do already, and if you have any problems, just phone me, she said, or email me. Anyways, that's how I started teaching at the faculty. It was a very Iman process. Nehiyawewin in action. Short demonstration of TPR with Roxanne Tutu. Says, guess go, I'm going to show you something that we did. Uten asene e wa ahe bitai Mr. Guating. West. E wa uten e miquans e wa ahe tagos weagadik. West. E wa utna astuten e wa asta taguts te tapunik. West. E wa utin pagatuan e wa ahe sipa mitsunategok. Miansen, West, Exen. E wa aistuta wen menus.
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 E wa atem.
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 Utachuma. Ke kia pitspiak. Minique wiakans.
Minique wiagans.
Minique wiakans.
Minique wiagans.
Minique wiakans.
Minique wiagans.
Minique wiakans.
Minique wiagans.
E kuma nipi.
Nippy.
Nipi.
Nippy.
Nipi.
Nippy.
Nipi.
Nippy.
E kwa istuta wen te tapun.
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 E kuma mitsunatek.
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 West. Ke e kuma squat. Istuta wen masnaikan.
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 E kwa awa emiquans.
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 West. So that's just examples with TPR. And we also do that in class. So I'll have them do something like utnamni kweweakan segwa astag tagutu tatetapunik, and then she'll have to do that. But they have to speak as well, not just me. So they have to tell other students what they need to do. These are the workbooks that we use in the nehiyawewin class for all 3 levels. And other books that we do use, so they do with the syllabics, they have to be able to read that. They have to put it back into SRO, Egwa, also translate all of that. We have our elder Manaepegiugit, Elder Francis Whiskey Jack, and he has amazing stories. Taupwe is a really good storyteller, so we're really happy to have him and his wife Manak. She came last year, I think. So it's always great to have the Keteya come talk to the students. We had Francis come in last week. It was an amazing class. The students really appreciated him sharing his stories, and it made the atmosphere in the classroom was different because it was not about the books today. It was about listening to stories and laughing. So that was just different. Lauren Noah, she took training in making syllabics, and she helped me get training as well. So we had a chance to make our own syllabics. So we used those in class. So what we do is the students all have to take some of those syllabics and they have to make words on the table. So you make a word on the table and somebody has to guess what it is. So nobody knew what your word was. We go around the table and somebody has to go and guess what you wrote. So if you want to make a word and then ask your buddy next to you to see what you wrote. So other things that we like to do is creative arts in nehiyawewin. So what they got to do is make some artwork, and they get to take that home with them. So both levels, a 200 level and a 300 level, got to make their own little pieces of artwork that are sitting on the table, and they'll take that home with them. This one is, Lauren's is here. It's one ska with the cat. That's the one that she did. And some of the games that we play also, nehiyawewin, we play Scrabble in Cree, nehiyawe Battleship, and then we play bingo, and we do it alumni night. So all the alumni, we invite them, and then they come and play bingo. So I got some pictures from the Nehiyawak language experience. Milo, he's playing with my puppet, which I brought here today. So I let them play with him. We have morning singing and storytelling, and after all our language instruction, they go around in different setups, and they go see all the instructors, and then the rest of the evening is either doing whatever, canoeing, medicine picking, go to a sweat lodge, bannock making. We can do bannock on a stick too. This one is the one that's happening right now, Blossoming Flower. It's happening at Gichiaski, and the kids are playing out in the woods. And then we have the teepee up, and we have an elder come visit as well. Tell stories to the children, tell them the importance of the land, how it nurtures your spirit, and we teach them a little bit of Cree words. It's not only for nehiyawewasak, anybody's welcome to come. So we had this girl, Erin Sigasu, they all went out on a snowshoeing. Well, she's 9 years old. She took one of the workers' little girl, Erin, snowshoeing. So they have a lot of fun out there. And she said it was a very amazing experience for her to be able to do that and to make bannock and just to be outside all day. No books, nothing to worry about, she says. Some of the other games we play, Cahoots, basic phrases and syllabics, and then Cree Battleship, Cree Scrabble, Nehiyawe Pictionary, and Nehiyawe Charades, and Kwetikemuna. I wanted to just close it with a poem that I wrote after my late mom passed away. Nimiuskagun nehiyawewin, my Cree nurtures me. Nipeten nehiyawewin, nipawatamunik, nimamtunetiganik, niawik, litatagumik. Nimiuskagun, it nurtures me. I dream in Cree, nehiyawepawatamun, my mind, my body, my spirit. Nimiuskagun, it nurtures me. Nipeten nigawi utwauna, I hear my mother's words. Nipeto awak, nimusumpanak, nugumpanak, nistesipanak, nimsipanak, nusimpan. I hear them, I see them, I feel them. Nimiuskagun, it nurtures me. Nimiumatsihun, I feel good. Most of all, I hear Nigawi. Gaya pumen dance, agamay mo. Don't give up, my girl, keep going. I hear songs, I hear stories, I see them dancing. Nimiuskagun, it nurtures me. Nimiumatsihun, I feel good. It fills my heart. I remember my childhood days. No pain, no fear, no drama, surrounded by unconditional love. Nimiuskagun nehiyawewin, because most of all, I can be me, nia nehiyawsko. Nehiyawewin, it nurtures me. Hi.
Hi.